Introducing Shimano's topwater popper that can handle just about anything, the World Pop 69F. The Shimano World Pop 69F is an incredible topwater popper that can handle so many situations and catch fish in so many places. The features of this bait that make it kind of unique, obviously the first one you'll notice would be flash boost. Flash boost is basically a mirror foil suspended on springs, and you can see even as I hold this bait still, it's flickering away in there, which is a really great attractor, especially when you're pausing a bait like a topwater popper. It's gonna sit on the water kind of tail down because of the molded weight inside, but this is gonna flicker, so if a fish is looking at it, it looks alive and like it's struggling. The other features about this bait is it has scale boost. Now, scale boost is a composite pitch hologram that really gives you a lifelike appearance, and as this bait hits light in certain angles, those composite pitch holograms change color or prism, and it really gives a lifelike finish to the baits. Now, all of the World Pop baits have a clear section on the body, but there are 3 new colors that are on the market that have a matte finish and will really give you a more sullen look to the flash boost. It's not as clear, giving you a muted version of it, which is phenomenal in clear water situations. The other thing about this bait is it's got that cupped face, but this cupped face, make no mistake about it, will not only pop and move a lot of water, it walks like nobody's business. This is a bait that really is a triple threat. Whether you're pop and pause, chug along, or walk, this bait can do all of it. The internal molded weights, on the other hand, really allow not only for proper posture in the water, that tail down, ready to pop and create that bubble action, but it really gives it phenomenal casting distance and accuracy. Because the majority of the weight is sitting right here in this tail section, that bait goes out tail first, has incredible distance when you're casting it, but it postures perfectly every single time. Now, the World Pop 69F, like the name suggests, is 69 millimeters long, which is 2 2/3 inches in length, and it weighs in at 12 grams or 3/8 of an ounce, so plenty to cast on bait casting. And if you're from the north, you may even want to look into spinning with braid to get ultra long casts out of a bait like this. Now, the World Pop is now available in 13 colors. Its original introduction was 10 colors, but now with 3 matte colors, the Matte Pro Blue, the Bone, and the Black Widow, it really adds to the appeal of this bait. No matter where you fish in the country, no matter what the hot color is or pattern that you're trying to imitate, the World Pop 69F has you covered. When it comes to picking a setup for the World Pop 69F, if you're picking conventional bait casting, it's really hard to argue with a 6'8" to 7'2" medium power rod that's fast or extra fast action. You want that fast or extra fast action because it's going to allow you to impart subtle actions like walking and twitching the bait with minimal movement of the rod. The other thing you're going to want to do is pair this up with a good bait casting reel. Something that is either 70, 150, or even up to 200 in size would be fine, but I really loved going and leaning towards the MGL or MGL Spool 3 reels, or even the DC reels like this, the Metanium DC, that will really allow you maximum casting distance and quick adjustability on the fly when you have changing weather conditions in front of you. When you spool up your bait cast reel, Power Pro braid is really tough to beat for topwater fishing for a couple of reasons. What we start with is 30-pound Power Pro. This is Super 8 Slick V2. And the reason we like braid is because not only does braid float, which is imperative to getting good action out of a topwater, but it's got 0 stretch and it's got ultra small diameter and 0 memory. So it's going to allow you super long casts, but it's also going to allow you to impart that action to the bait, even when it's way away from the boat, and still get you a solid hook set. What I like to finish my braid off with is a short 1 to 2 foot piece of monofilament as a leader. In this case, I'm running between 14 and 17 pound test mono, and it's a great place to have that buoyancy still there. The thicker diameter of the mono really allows that bait to slide across the water really well. When it comes to the north, a lot of people use spinning in order to get those super long casts in the ultra clear waters we deal with here. A lot of times, the further away you can cast from the boat, the more strikes you're going to get because the fish just don't know you're there. For me, my spinning setup is a 7'2" medium light, but you can go 6'10", all the way up to 7'6" if you like. And really, the key here is medium light to a maximum of medium power rod. Those two powers are going to load and unload the best with a 3/8 ounce bait. That's going to give you the most distance. It's also going to give you the most accuracy in your casts, especially in clear water situations. When you can sight cast to an individual boulder on a flat, you want that accuracy and you want that distance. I pair that up with a 2500 size spinning reel, and I spool it up with 8 or 10 pound Power Pro, and then I go just like my bait casting combo. I switch over to a monofilament leader. 1 or 2 feet is usually plenty, just enough to keep that slick movement of the bait going back and forth and not have them see the braid from underneath. That's a perfect setup for long distance casting. It's got the right gear ratio on the 2500 size reel. You got plenty of line capacity, and that 7'2" medium light will rocket this bait out into the atmosphere. Now, when it comes to working this bait, there's a few different retrieves you can do that will really help you get more fish. The first one obviously is the big pop and pause. That pop and pause, the way this bait is designed with that molded internal tail weight, it's sitting in that downward position, just waiting to grab a whole bunch of water and blow a bubble over its head and spray it forward. So a reel and twitch at the same time will get you that good pop and pause that will move a ton of water. The other way you could do this is kind of chug it. So you can have a steady little chug walk almost, where it will spit and pop and gurgle and do a whole bunch of activity. And when fish are a little more aggressive, a lot of times that will work well. The other thing you could do on the more subtle side, if you're looking more so to just have that movement, that steady movement, and not so much the splashes that go with it, is to walk the bait. And you do that really by moving it in a downward twitch and reel position. When I use a reel for this, I like to use an HG reel. I don't want something too fast, because if you're using an XG that has the 8-to-1 gear ratio reel, it makes it really, really tough because you don't have enough slack in the line to have the bait walk side to side like you want it to. So by going to either a 6 or a 7 gear reel, it really allows you to walk that bait effectively back and forth, and you can do slower twitch and pause, get the bait to slide side to side, and that will really entice some violent strikes from fish, whether it's a spot, a largemouth, or a smallmouth bass. So if you're looking for a new popper with a ton of technology to add to your tackle box, check out the Shimano World Pop 69F topwater. This bait will handle so many situations and catch so many fish all over the country.